question has to do with your powers of persuasion. During the debt ceiling debate, you asked for the American public to call members of Congress, and switchboards got jammed. You have done a similar thing while going around the country doing this, talking to members of Congress. There's not the same reaction. You're not hearing about phones being jammed. Talking to one member of Congress, he told me there's a disillusionment he's concerned about with the public, that maybe they just don't believe anything can get done anyway. Are you worried about your own powers of persuasion and maybe that the American public's not listening to you anymore?
Well, no. What we've seen is the American people respond very enthusiastically to the specific provisions of the jobs bill. They are very skeptical about Congress's ability to act right now, and that's understandable. The American people are very frustrated. They've been frustrated for a long time. They don't get a sense that folks in this town are looking out for their interests. They get a sense that folks in this town are thinking about their own jobs, their own careers, their own advancement, their party interests. And so if the question is, Chuck, are people feeling cynical and frustrated about the prospects of positive action in this city? Absolutely. And I can go out there and make speeches, but until they actually see action, some of that cynicism is going to be there. As you said during the debt ceiling debate, a very solid majority, I think up maybe even higher than 70%, agreed with the approach that I talked about, which was we should have a balanced approach to deficit reduction. And what the American people saw is that Congress didn't care. Not just what I thought, they didn't care about what the American people thought. They had their own agenda. And so if they see that over and over again, that cynicism is not going to be reduced until Congress actually proves their cynicism wrong by doing something that would actually help the American people. This is a great opportunity to do it. This is a great opportunity to do it. Keep in mind, if the American Jobs Bill passes, we're still going to have challenges. We're still going to have to make sure that we've got the best education system in the world, because that is going to be critical for our long-term competitiveness and creating good, solid middle-class jobs. We're still going to have to keep investing in basic research and science. We're still going to have to make sure that we do even more on infrastructure. I mean, what's contained in the American Jobs Bill doesn't cover all the roads and bridges and infrastructure that needs to be improved around the country. So it's not as if that's going to solve all our problems, but it is an important start that we know would end up growing the economy and putting hundreds of thousands, millions of people back to work at a time when they needed the most. And it's paid for. I mean, the one persuasive argument that the Republicans previously had made against a bill like this is, the deficit's growing, we can't afford it. Well, we can afford it if we're willing to ask people like me to do a little bit more in taxes. We can afford it without affecting our deficit. Our proposal is paid for. So that can't be the excuse. And so yes, until they see Congress actually putting country ahead of party politics and partisanship, they're going to be skeptical. And it doesn't matter how many times I preach to them, this is not a reflection of their lack of faith in the American Jobs Bill. They haven't seen Congress able to come together and act. This is a good opportunity there. What we've seen is that they agree with what we've put forward. Now, here's what I'll also say is that based on the debt ceiling vote, what they've seen is that the Republicans in Congress, even when the American people agree with me, oftentimes will vote against something I'm proposing. So there may be some skepticism that I personally can persuade Republicans to take actions in the interest of the American people. But that's exactly why I need the American people to try to put some pressure on them.